Oh my gosh. We are back.
What up, y'all?
We are literally back. Hola everyone. It is Aging Grateful. I'm Bobbi.
Cedric.
And man, we've been gone for a minute.
Yep.
We've been gone for a minute, but we are definitely back.
Yep.
Are we back?
Yep. Let's talk about it.
Okay, guys. It's only been a few months that we've been away. Not long, but we've been gone long enough. And this video, we decided to actually talk about updates, right?
Yeah.
We have been here in San Miguel de Allende for a year, and we want to talk about some things that we have learned, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, okay, we've been in San Miguel for a year. Life abroad be lifing, okay?
To say the least.
To say the least. And so we want to be able to share with you some things that we have learned along the way and some things that have been going on. So, for those of you who don't know, I am a real estate professional here in San Miguel de Allende, and so I have been spending my time growing our business. I work as a team. I have a team that work with me, and we do like neighborhood tours. We do real estate tours. We help people with buying and renting, and we also help people prepare for the process of moving abroad. So we have I have a variety of things within my business. So I've been building that, right? And so some of the time was taken trying to establish that, but now we're able to kind of woosah,
yeah,
and now talk about some things that we have learned, and are still learning sometimes.
One of the things we talk about a lot of times when you go to places is to rent an Airbnb and kind of get a feel for the area, you know, and different things like that. And one thing that we've learned from this experience is, if we have to do it over again, is that I would do an Airbnb way longer than what people usually do.
Like,
right?
what do you think?
I would say
people stay usually in Airbnb for how long?
Usually about, a couple of weeks or up to a month,
yes.
Typically.
However,
because they're usually trying to get in a place as fast as possible, because Airbnbs are usually a little bit more costly than renting a place.
Which we understand.
Yeah.
We understand that, and but our consensus is that you may want to do an Airbnb for a little longer than that.
Yeah, I would probably do even up to 3 months in different locations, because we're learning you really don't get a feel for a place until you've been living there for a while.
Correct.
A long while, not just a couple of months, but at least that'll give you an idea of places, what that neighborhood offers. One thing we learned here recently is that you go to another location, check out the Ubers from that location. Is it Uber going to be the same as the location that you were at previously? You might like an area, and you get over there and the Ubers are a pain to get.
If that's important.
If that's important to you, yeah.
So another thing is, and I love what I do. So yes, if you're looking to do a neighborhood tour or a real estate tour, absolutely. But being wise, right? We want to make sure that we're wise, because the reality of the matter is you really don't know a neighborhood or community until you've actually lived in it. Driving through a community and seeing it could be on its best behavior, right? Even if you go in the morning, even if you go in the evening, just spending some time in those various areas. So that's why we are saying Airbnb for a short period of time. We're not saying do an Airbnb for a year. We're saying, maybe a couple of months, maybe 3-4 months, and stay at different areas or different neighborhoods through Airbnb or whatever short-term rental that you acquire. But put them in different neighborhoods so you can see if this is something that, a place where you can live. Is it close to things that you like shops or fruitarias? Or if you're an artsy person, because we were in San Miguel, you're an artsy person, you want to live near something like Fabrica Aurora, which is a very beautiful place to view art. Do you want to be near Central, where all the action happens, but knowing that it could be very loud during celebrations and things like that? So having a short-term rental space and going about to different areas kind of gives you that feel if this is where you really want to be.
Yeah, and it may be a little bit more money up front because, usually Airbnbs are going to be a little bit more expensive probably than renting, but it may save you some headache and cost on the back end because like you're saying, you may want to be over by the what's it called? I can never remember the name of that place. You just
Fabrica Aurora?
Yeah, it might be over there by Aurora, Fabrica.
La Fabrica Aurora?
But then you may find out living over there, you may not like actually living over there because it may be a totally different vibe. It may get real busy if there's something going on. You can't get in and out of the neighborhood.
Right.
But just visiting that area is perfect. So those things you wouldn't know unless you spend a little time in those areas. So
also, let me say this, because I know you're out there. I know you're out there. The person who has FOMO. I'm not saying to do the 3 to 4 months time frame so you can rack other people's brain about you living in these different areas. That's not the purpose of it, because some people overanalyze the issue.
yeah.
There will always be, let me get it out the way, there will always be something better.
Every time.
There will be always something newer. There will be always something prettier. There will be always something brighter. There will be always something better than where you're at right now. Listen to me as a professional. The objective is not for you to keep finding the better and the greater. The objective is being able to find some place that speaks to home for you. And that's the difference, because as soon as you sign a lease or you buy a property, I guarantee you 1,000% you're going to find something better or cheaper or whatever the case may be, more beautiful after the fact. You just have to find what's home for you, right? And so we're just saying that to find a place that you can really call home, not taking this time to say, you know what, I need to have the best and the latest and greatest, and I don't want to sign anything until I find the absolute amazing place. No, that's not what this is for. So just a little tidbit, a little hint.
Yeah, and that leads us into our next thing, talking about cheaper. It's not always about trying to find the cheapest place you can find either. I know a lot of times, especially when we first move abroad, like it's all about what can I get cheap and save money and all this stuff.
Let's dispel the myths.
Yeah, that's not. I want to say it's not sustainable, but it may be sustainable for some people. But the majority of people, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna want to be comfortable.
Right, and I think if we're looking back on it, if you follow our journey, we started out in a really inexpensive place and found out very quickly that inexpensive place had things. There were reasons why it was inexpensive, right? And so we're learning and have been learning that we are supposed to be looking for home for us,
right,
not what we can settle for, or not something that we can make work or live in. The whole purpose of moving abroad is to be able to have a better quality of life. Also, we were looking at saving money was on our goal, but saving money does not necessarily mean going without.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. We still wanted a lifestyle that was spoke to all of us, right?
Yeah. It's and saving money is definitely important. I'm not saying blow your budget,
No.
but what I'm saying is that you have to strike a balance between saving money and living life,
Being realistic.
and being realistic. Yeah,
Right.
being realistic. Because typically what happens is the more you settle to save money, the more money you end up spending to try to make the place whatever it is that you're missing out, that you're selling for.
Absolutely. Like I've seen, other YouTubers and following people's journey on like all these different Facebook groups and communities where, yes, absolutely, you're looking to spend a little bit less money than what you probably were looking at spending in the States, but hearing the experiences of other people basically saying, well, they need to try and do X, Y, Z to accommodate themselves because they're really not happy in the space that they're in. They're just thinking that this is what living abroad is supposed to be like. Some form of suffering has to happen, or some form of
sacrifice,
lack, has to happen in order for you to be able to live abroad. And we are finding being in these spaces and being abroad now that you don't have to necessarily suffer. There are people out here who are balling out, living like the best lives ever, and their thought process may not be to save. They may have already saved, and this is the money that they are living on.
Right.
But we very much don't want to paint this picture that living abroad is absolutely cheap.
Yeah.
We have to dispel that myth because that's where we are right now, and that's been the
narrative for a long time.
Yes, the narrative for a long time. If we can get it out here that you may be able to live a little cheaper or not. You may be living actually with a higher price point, but the quality.
I was about to say, the quality is where the difference is gonna come.
Right, the quality of life is different. A new environment, a new mindset, a new way that things are happening or being done may exist. So right there, living abroad, you can live absolutely the way you want to live. Just know that, but it may come at a price because living cheap. That's a thing of the past.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you.
Yeah.
That's a thing of the past. I'm not even subscribing to it anymore. You are here to live a beautiful life.
Yeah.
Abroad.
Yeah. Now, one way we kind of figured out to kind of like offset or combat that is we talked about renting. We have talked about before renting furnished versus unfurnished and things like that.
What we learned.
Yeah, and typically you're going to find the unfurnished places are typically going to be less expensive than the furnished place. I mean, it's just in general everywhere, right? People are going to charge you for furniture versus not. But what we've found kind of a hack, if you would put it that way, is you can look at it that way, right? So let's just say you're renting a place and you're paying $1,000 a month, and then you could find another, unfurnished place for $700 or $800 a month. Just general numbers thrown out here. So what you could do is first rent the furnished place and then buy furniture over time. And most of the landlords that we've come across here and people we know that rent places here, just say like if you have a couch, this furnished place, and you want to buy your own couch, you can buy your own couch and ask the landlord if he or she can take that couch out. And they're more than happy to come do it in most cases, right? So now you have a couch. And then you slowly start doing that and replacing the furniture that's in the rental.
You could do that.
Yeah, and then by the end of it, you have most of your furniture in a place. So then when you go look for the next place, you can look for an unfurnished place cheaper, and you've already got your furniture.
Now, he's saying all of this, but these are conversations that have to be had before moving in. Because if that is your intention, it's a conversation that needs to be had with the owner. If for some reason I happen to buy pieces of furniture, is there a way that you'd be able to take this away, or whatever the case may be? But these are conversations that need to be had if that's your intention.
Yeah.
But yes, like you said, that can be done with conversation if the owners agree.
Yeah.
So yes, that part. Also, we want to talk about grocery stores. We have notes. Food, grocery stores versus local costs, and not to be scared of local items. Like, as an example, it is going to be more expensive going to a regular grocery store
absolutely.
to buy your products, right? It is what it is. And I get it, because we do tend to gravitate towards things that we know, or like brands that we trust, you know. And sometimes the best stuff is the brands that you don't know about. I'm telling you. And so being willing to think outside the box when it comes to that, you know, no, we're not getting Jiffy cornbread mix in the stores. I mean, it's not gonna happen. Though that might be something that you love. I'm just throwing that out there. I like homemade cornbread myself, but anyway, the point of the matter is trying other things, other foods. The tiendas here in the neighborhood, in the community that we live in, they have everything. Like, they have, you know, the tomatoes, the onions, they got all different kind of fruits and all different kind of vegetables. We actually have a meat person, you know. We got our
butcher. And I was about to say, over time, it definitely helps to get in with the locals and find these different things. Like, so now, I can't even remember last time we bought meat from the grocery store.
Oh my gosh.
We have a butcher that has a shop that we get meat from. We have a chicken guy
He
that delivers the
our
chicken.
Our chicken wings, he delivers them. And
so you start getting these things, and it's going to be way cheaper than going to the grocery store. And in the grocery stores, we're so used to that convenience, right? You go one place, you get your little basket, you roll around the store, you shop, and you're done.
You even get clothes if you want to, all that, you know.
Versus these other things, you may have to piecemeal them together, right? You might have to go to a bunch of different places. And I think a lot of times people that kind of turns people away. Like, look, I don't have time to be going from over here and then to get this, and then go over there to get this, and go over there to get that. But it's definitely a cost save. Once you get a routine, and the things in place, I would definitely spend some time doing that, learning what's where and what you can get, and
learning how to eat seasonally, because we are so far removed from that in the States. Like, if I wanted to get a peach or a mango in the wintertime in the grocery stores, I could get it, right? We can get it, because you know, the way our society is structured in the U.S., that ain't happening here. Like, if it's not time for it to grow, you're not getting it. That's just what it is, and you're learning to adapt to all of that, right? It's very interesting to see how that dynamic works. But also, just don't be scared to try things. Like, when we first got here, I think we did a video a long time ago where we talked about even the eggs. The eggs being on the shelf, right? Or we got the egg lady down the street, and these eggs ain't refrigerated, and we were like, hold on, where we come from, the egg, you know. And so to learn that, and then to trust that, man, these eggs are good, these eggs are better, these eggs they're phenomenal. Like, so you just gotta step away from being fearful of what you don't know.
Yeah, and I'll probably get, you know, I'll probably get some flack for this, but a lot of y'all vegans out there.
Oh, I can't. We have
a lot of y'all vegans out there that come, you know, and it's gonna be probably more expensive for you to find vegan products anywhere abroad, because a lot of times that stuff's gonna be imported in.
Yes.
Now, if you're a vegan for just the reasons of, you know, you don't want to kill the animals and that type of thing, that's different. But if you're vegan because it's just a healthier lifestyle, so to speak, from the food, I just want to eat meat because it's unhealthy, it's making me sick, you may not have to worry about that so much abroad, because a lot of these pesticides and antibiotics and things like that aren't
feed that they're feeding.
It's not in the animals.
It's not in their food. It's not. So you may bypass a lot of the things that we may have in the States.
That could be making you
That
sick
could be
from the meat.
Correct.
So it may, I'm just saying, it may be something to look at. Like, don't throw it off the table, because it may, you ate a steak the other day, you say you felt the best you felt.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. But
we know the butcher,
we know the
and we know
butcher,
where he got his.
We know his farm.
We was sitting there looking at the cows. He said, "Remember that cow the other day? Yeah, we just butchered that."
Yeah. So we actually know the farm. We know we've had dinner with them at their place. Listen, we know them. But yes, but also too, if you are, he's talking about being vegan. You know, veganism is supposed to be more healthier. This might be an opportunity to step away from all the processed vegan food, right? This may be the opportunity for you to be able to eat whole foods, whole vegetables, whole fruits, or to create some new dishes and things like that from just pure what grows from the earth. So it might be an opportunity for your diet and your palate to expand in that if you're choosing to stay vegan, right? He's not telling you to get down off your vegan.
Right. I'm just saying,
He's just saying. But yes, and also for those of us who are not vegan, it is also an opportunity for us to be able to step away from even more processed foods as well, because you can get processed foods anywhere nowadays, but realistically, if you're going to these tiendas, if you're going to these little local fruit and vegetable markets, try the local fruits, try what's being grown locally, and eat that.
Yeah.
And see how you feel, right? So, just saying. Off of our food soapbox. It's you can spend as much or as little as you so choose to, and have a variety. But another thing that we learned, because we got asked this question: have we gotten a car yet? And our answer?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Why?
It to me, just the headache of and risk of the headache of insurance and driving and maintenance and all that stuff, and the risk of accidents and all the stuff that comes behind that. I just don't think it's worth the risk, because private drivers, between private drivers, Uber, and public transportation, it's affordable. It's affordable. You probably spend more money and headaches owning a car than you would just not having one. And time is money, right? So you can hire a driver to drive you somewhere and take you places, and you can sit in the back and relax and
what? That's a new concept.
Take in the scenery, or if you're working on something, that's your opportunity to work on something or whatever. But the thing is, it frees up your time to do other things.
So we're learning that to take advantage of resting when we can, and the added stress of maintenance, gas,
driving,
being in traffic, stuck, maneuvering traffic, not because of course if you're in a car, you're going to be experiencing some form of traffic, but not you being able to maneuver and drive. The cost of if there was some type of an accident, things of that nature, we don't have to worry about that, and so those are things that we're choosing not to worry about, right? This is a choice. And even with us Ubering, sometimes when we Uber, it's still less expensive than owning a car.
Oh yeah, it's a lot less expensive.
Outright. And then also too, like he was saying, we have private drivers that we use. I utilize private drivers sometimes in my business. So it still comes out cheaper. Also, we are learning to walk more. Oh my gosh, he had me out walking yesterday. Let's just say I got well over my 10,000 steps yesterday. But walking, taking the Ruta, the bus. So those are still options for us. And being a year here in San Miguel, we still.
Yeah, still. Now, don't get me wrong. Having a car It's convenient.
Yeah,
It
would be
opens
nice.
up a lot more of the quote unquote city and surrounding areas that you know that you don't
that you would like to explore.
that you would like to explore or didn't know that you like to explore. It definitely would do that, but for us, it's not worth the risk of doing that. You know, somebody can tell me about someplace, and I'll just hire somebody to take me there. I'm not.
Exactly. Also, another thing too, for those diehard American car owners, listen. Living abroad opens or expands your horizons if you do decide you want to have a car. There are so many different other makes and models and brands of vehicles, so you don't you don't have to bring your vehicle. You can get one where you are in these other countries, and some of those vehicles are like top tier. When I tell you top tier and less money.
And yeah, and a lot of the locals that I talk to that, you know, familiar with the States, that go back and forth, you know, between here in the States anyway, they say don't buy your car from the States because you can't find anybody to work on them. The parts are expensive because they're imported. The mechanics, you know, it's a whole different
ball game.
So they say it's better just to buy your car from the country that you're in, and you'll have a lot less issues when it comes to maintenance and stuff.
Absolutely. And I will say, being here in San Miguel, I can't speak for any other place. I can speak for Puerto Rico, but I can't speak for any other places. I wouldn't ever get a new car.
No.
A beater car, yes. Because the cobblestone and the way people maneuver, if you were to get a car, just know your car may not end up looking or being the same as it was when you first got it or you first arrived, or because the way the streets are handled here and the way people drive here, good luck to you having your car to be in the same condition as it was after a few months or so. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So then, living versus settling.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that a little bit. It's you have to live. I mean, we're all that at the end of the day. We're trying to all live our best lives, and living versus settling for something or making something work. We've always been, since we've been abroad, it's been like it's either, oh, we can make that work. Oh yeah, we can make that work. We can make that work. Versus just getting.
Now we're at this
at the point where it's like, okay, this is what we want. This is what we're gonna get, and we're gonna have to make it work.
Yes, so we are truly living and not settling at this point, if I could say that. We have gone full circle with our thought processes, and for those of you who are doing the same, don't think that this is weird. Don't think that this is odd. And again, me as a real estate professional telling you, you pick a place, I'm always of the frame of mind that this might not work for you in a month or 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. And so you make sure that you are taken care of from a legal perspective when you're signing things like leases, that you have the ability to understand what it is to walk away. Another caveat to this is to breathe, woosah, and don't feel bad if you've made a mistake, right? It happens, and just relish in the experience that you've had and learning, and maybe this information may help someone else on their journey as well. So just breathe and take a pause and know that this is an experience that you're learning from, right? But our thoughts on living in San Miguel?
It's definitely home. It's home.
It's home.
It's home. That's all I can say. It's home. The community, everything about it is just home. It's not for everybody.
It is not for everybody.
But it's for us.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely for us. I think San Miguel calls a certain type of person to it, and it's not transient like other places, like, because everybody's thinking Mexico's beach, water, and it's not here. But it definitely calls people not to maybe vacation because they're at the beach. It's a really calming, comforting beautiful historic place, rich in culture, and when people are here, if you know, they wind up normally calling it home.
Yeah.
And we are privileged and grateful for being able to say that as well, right? About San Miguel. Oh, one thing we didn't put down on here: community here in San Miguel. Okay, we're gonna talk about it because everybody looks at all these different videos about San Miguel and community, right? That we are a tight-knit community here. We, definitely love on each other. But I also have to say this. Here in San Miguel, beautiful, amazing. Yes, we do have the community. But please do your research when coming here when we're talking about community. Community is not here 24/7. Like, we all live under the same roof. And I don't know if people think that that's what happens with community, that we're always under each other's thumb all the time. Like we go together in a pack everywhere we go. Like on, Tuesdays, we all at Tuesday market. Yeah, I don't know. And the reason why we're sharing this is because we've had people come visit and truly believe that you're supposed to be with them every step of the way, like every day, from the time they have arrived and dropped their bags in their hotel or Airbnb to the time they get on a plane to leave. That's not how life is life. We live here. We don't vacation here. We're not going to be in Central every night. We're not going to be at Fabrica Aurora, or we're not going to be at the rooftop restaurants every single day. Like, you're just waiting with bated breath for us as a collective to show up. We don't do that. We work jobs. We like to rest and relax. We like to work out. We,
have families, all kinds of
We
stuff.
all have families. Some of us are actually introverts who prefer to stay in our homes. People like to read. I'm a reader. So when we talk about community, there's people here, is what we mean. We do enjoy and we have a good time and we commune from time to time, but it is not on a 24/7 rotation. Getting messages at, in these groups at 10, 11 o'clock at night talking about where people are. No. So, as much as we love our community, as much as we, love and enjoy meeting people, there also should be a level of respect that's given to those of us who actually live here. We'll get in where we get in, meet you somewhere every now and again, but we don't sit around waiting, if you will.
Yeah, and we have a whole video coming up just talking about just community. So
yes,
stay tuned, because that's a whole topic in itself.
And common sense. That's another video that we're doing because common sense is not so common. That we're learning in this move abroad space. But other than that, we are loving our time here. Our daughter is loving her time here, though it's going to be short soon because she gets ready to graduate. Our last two babies are graduating high school this year. Yay! And then they'll be flying baby birds to their journeys, and we'll be empty nesters soon.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be an interesting journey. So, empty nesters abroad?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed listening to us ramble about what's been going on and things that we have learned here in San Miguel, do us a solid.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe, yes, and hit that notification bell to be alerted on our next video, because I promise we're back into the swing of doing videos. Promise that's what we're doing. So let's enjoy our journey.
Yeah, deuces.
And deuces.